Yeah, hi friend, welcome to my channel Freaky IT. So today our topic we are going to discuss regarding what is VTP. Or this is very critical topic. You know that if you are working in big organization, then you need to configure multiple switches. Multiple switches you can't configure VLAN. Each and every switch go and configure because it is consuming a lot of time. So the solution is VTP. So what first we need to understand what is VTP. VTP is a VLAN trunking protocol is used to distribute and synchronize VLAN configuration information across switches in the same VTP domain. So in VTP we need to give one domain name so that we can synchronize all the end user switching with the core device. It is working like server and client. So it allow a network administration to create, delete and rename the VLAN one single switch, the VTP server, and have those changes automatically propagated to all other switches in the domain. So in core switch we are going to create one VTP domain and we are treating that switch as a server. If we can configure any VLAN in that switch, by default the server switch send the packet to end user client or update to end user client. By default that VLAN is created to that switch. So why use VTP? Why? So first thing is centralized VLAN management. Instead of configuring VLAN manually, which we discuss, every switch you can configure them once to VTP server and by default circle to all ND switches. Consistency. Second is consistency. Ensure all the switches in domain have the same VLAN information, reducing misconfiguration. Suppose if you're configuring manually, maybe some switches have 20 VLANs, sorry, some switches have 15 VLAN, some switches you have 10 VLAN. So you can't synchronize that information. This VTP will help to reduce such chances. Scalability, especially useful in large network with many switches, which we discussed. It is applicable for it is applicable small also, but it is more useful in large network. It is dynamic updates. So when VLAN changes made on VTP server, updates are automatically sent to the client switches to the VTP advertisement. So by default, suppose you create new VLAN in core switch, VTP advertisement by default will go to all the switches which is part of that VTP domain or VTP client. So VTP has three modes. First is server mode. We can create, modify, delete the VLAN, send the update to the other switches. What is another mode? Client mode. Client mode, we cannot create or delete the VLAN and receive and apply the update from the servers. So it is a client mode, purely restricted. Only you can view the VLANs, but you can't delete. There is one more mode which is transparent. So forward VTP message does not apply on transparent VLAN must be configured manually. It's a very good example of transparent. Sometime what happen, you have some special department in somewhere in your organization. You don't want that department to use share the common database of any VLAN. You can create special VLAN. So, but you don't want that VLAN should be created to other switches. That update should be go to other switches. So you need to do uh, your switch VTP mode to transparent, and you need to configure manual VLAN in core switch also and the switch which is the transparent. So that let we can go to the lab and we will we'll get more clarity on the lab. Yeah, so in lab I have taken three switches, three L2 switches. One is core switch. This is my core switch. So this is my core switch in the network. So in my core switch, let me show my configuration for the VTP. When I'm checking, okay, let me show first how many VLANs I have. So I have created three VLANs, VLAN 10, 20, 50. Okay, then let me share you my VTP configurations. So my VTP configuration, I'm treating this switch as a server. So my VTP configurations is here. So first I created one domain, IP domain. I can put uh, VTP IP domain freaking IT. So it is not showing here. So okay, so let me create again. So my first command is VTP, which is already created. It is not showing here. VTP mode is server, which is the server is already is configured already. Then my second command is VTP password. I'm entering 12345. You can put any password, put some secure password. Okay, so this one. So I treated this as a VTP server. So when I'm checking the command show VTP status, so this will show me that okay, this is a running, VTP running here, VTP domain is freaking IT. So there is a one command which we need to configure one more VTP domain which I already created free is freaking it.com. So it's already set. So show VTP status. So you can see that VTP domain name here also. So the VTP, the main thing you need to check feature VLAN in VTP operation mode server. So this should be server, and now it is showing how many VLANs. Existing VLAN showing 8. If I will count how many VLAN, so there is a total 8 VLAN because by one is by one default 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 VLAN. So this is my VTP server switch. So if I will go to my core switch is a, if I will check status show VTP status, it is a client. It is also sync with this. It will show the 8 VLAN. So if I am trying to create VLAN, config VLAN 10, he what error show? Not allowed when device is client mode. So it is a client. On the client mode, what configuration you need to do? Let me check if I am able to see in the packet tracer. Otherwise, I will configure again. It is not showing. So client mode, you can run the command VTP mode client VTP domain again freaking it.com VTP password. The same password which we configure this 12345. So when I check the status, it will sync VTP. So see, it's showing the 8. So let me show you one thing. I will create one more VLAN here. I am creating VLAN 70. Name is freaking IT. Okay. Let's see this VLAN is updated there because I configure in core switch. Now I'm going to here. So let me check the update. If I will check the show VTP, says see the my VTP this existing VLAN count is increased. When I check the show VLAN here, it will show me VLAN 70 freaking it. So this is the benefit because this is the end user. I am not configuring anything here. And the once I will add this switch as a client mode, but after that by default any VLAN I create here, it will get update here. Now let me come. I make one more switch, which is I made it transparent. So this switch I configure it. When I check the show VTP status, it will show the transparent mode. So if I check the show VLAN, see it's not updating. I can configure any VLAN, configure VLAN 90. See I am allowed to configure test VLAN. So there is no relation, it's not updated. And when I check in the show VLAN, it is not getting the sync data because we have in core switch we have different VLAN. So this is the whole configuration of VTP domain, VTP server. This is a VTP client, this is a transparent mode, and this is a my core switch. So I hope you will get clarity about the VTP. I'm going to make another video for VTP pruning which will help to clear the unused VLAN. So thank you for watching my video and please subscribe. I am continue in the way on the path, you can say, that making more and more video. Thank you everyone. Please subscribe.